So, if you didn't know, recently we just started a petition to redevelop and reopen West Watford train station. You might have seen this on the Watford Observer or a petition link or the news that we just hit 120 signatures for this petition. But understandably so, stuff like this comes with a lot of questions, and they are very fair questions. So, in this video, I'm going to try and answer some of these questions. So, the first one is talking about how the line will connect up. We envision this train station to be the end of the Lioness line on the London Overground, and it would connect up to Watford High Street, making it easy access for people in this area to get into town. And not just that, of course, when in Watford High Street, you'll be able to connect up to Watford Junction and later onto London Euston. So, yes, it will be a London Overground to TfL train line with the Lioness line. Another question is asking about the prioritisation of the West Watford train station. I mean, if you didn't know, back in the early 2000s, West Watford was not the only station, but we had a whole line of stations going from Croxley and even onto Vicarage Road. This was now known as the Croxley Rail Link. But we've decided to prioritise West Watford mostly because of the area it's in. Now, this area, more than others, have had more bus routes cut and more bus services cut. And not just that, it's also home to the schools, our general hospital, and it is also close to the Watford Football Club stadium. This is a very important area, and especially Hollywell in general, which has had a lot of new homes being built in the area and the schools getting more students than we've ever seen, thanks to the redevelopment of the Westfield Academy, for example. So West Watford is a prioritised station that we have to do, and if it is successful in the future, when it is hopefully redeveloped and reopened, maybe the possibility of reopening the other stations left on the Croxley Rail Link, that is definitely an idea that we are happy to go with. So another question we've had is why are we prioritising trains and not car parks for cars or trying to get back our bus services? Well, if you didn't know, most of the train stations already in Watford are controlled by the TfL. The TfL is a very well-known public authority, already controlled mostly by the UK government and other subsidies that we are in public ownership of. Now we compare this to our bus services in Watford, controlled by companies like Arriva, who often are controlled by the mega rich, who frankly are pretty happy to cut our bus services. This is something, frankly, at local level we cannot control. So, prioritizing train stations and stuff like this, which already has the groundwork for it, it's something that is definitely viable, and it's something that the council can act and do. And then the fourth and final question, which is probably the most important one to most of you, how is this even going to be financed? And a lot of people have used the original Croxley Rail Link project a couple of years back as an example of how expensive this really is. Well, frankly, first off, let me say this project is not the Croxley Rail Link. It is partially based around it, as it's reviving West Watford train station, a train station that would have been reopened under the Croxley Rail Link, but this time we're only doing the one station. Now, of course, obviously, one station means a lot less money to be spent, but also the fact that it's just reviving an already existing line. It doesn't mean we have to connect it up with the Metropolitan station, which means we won't have to build unnecessary bridges and all that stuff to accommodate the new tracks being built. Frankly, it's going to be a lot more cheaper. But how will the council actually pay for it? Well, for example, Watford Business Park was built a couple years ago using a compulsory purchase order, or a CPO. They spent over £20 million with an extra £5 million helped by local growth fund. And with that money, in a space of about 5 years, they managed to build an entire Watford Business Park. Now tell me, if the council can spend that much money on prioritising and building a business park, why can't they do the same for a train station like this? That's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. If there's any more questions, I'm happy to answer them. But yeah, and don't forget, sign the petition. Let's get action on this. We need to bring back West Watford train station. Thank you.